firstly, thank you very much for giving me opportunity to talk with you again.
Hmm. Well, the honor is mine. I feel I should thank you.
So last time we discussed about communication. So I have new audience again. So can you please introduce yourself again to my audience?
Oh, okay, sure. So, hello, my name is Sina Dendorf. I'm originally from Berlin, but I'm a full remotely working digital nomad. And right now I'm in Sicily. I'm a communication expert, and I help companies to create positive working environments.
So I want to talk about AI with you because you are already into communication from a long time. You understand what happens between human beings, how they connect with each other, how they disconnect with each other, what exactly works to establish connection. So you are into this from a long time. So
Yeah.
especially in technical field. So
Mhm.
what is AI, artificial intelligence, in your perspective?
That, that's a really nice question. So for me, it's like a brain, and it's a brain that makes decisions. And it depends on which information the brain has. This is what can correlate with every information, matches each other, and combines it to one best option, and that's the solution, that's the outcome. But they are all the information that are, yeah, being calculated, being in consideration, and not of a human brain, just by technology. So technology restructures thinking.
So what do you say about this thought, artificial intelligence thought in human mind? So what do you say about this? Is this correct?
I don't know. Can you, what exactly do you mean?
So creating a machine giving the same ability, capability, and the capacity to a liveless species. Is it good for mankind and is it good for other species on this planet?
Oh, that's a whole different question. That's like very ethical, and I don't think that I'm the right person to answer this. I mean, to be honest, I don't even want to make a statement here because this I have not thought through yet. Like, like I in one of my communication trainings, that's actually kind of funny. I did have that question. Should should we continue cloning people? Like, should we, is this a thing we should do? And then I had open discussions, like in my communication training, and make people have different opinions, and then let's see how we can solve the issue. And so they had like dialogues, discussions about this, and I've heard many opinions, but I have never taken the time to consider it to myself what I personally think of it. So this is why I don't have a personal opinion. Does it make sense?
Yeah, I got you. So you interact with technological expertise and you understand what they say. So they are creating, they are programming, they are there are a lot of algorithms which are using in Google and Facebook and other
Yeah.
social networks in the internet. Artificial intelligence is already in the market,
Yeah.
so which is uh, which is under human control, but
Yes.
the future, they are human beings are, the future is trying to give the same ability like human beings. So how that is possible and what should be done in order to make this use positively as a positivity observer
Mhm.
and
Um, so obviously, I don't have the answer for that because only the future will show. But as something I can imagine, what we need to do to create a machine that gives us the answers or gives us the how-tos as possible, as positive as possible, I think the thinking processes need to be understood, that we as a human being who code the technology need to understand that every thought is a reaction. Am I still there? Okay, so every thought is like a chain reaction within our body. So like I have a thought and it triggers hormones, and those hormones trigger my actions and my emotions, my feelings. So, and this is how I react in this world, how I communicate with myself and with everyone else, with humans, plants, animals, like everything there is that's material. And once we understand that we have to have a certain goal and communicate that goal and make sure that this serves as many people as possible instead of hurting as many people as possible for a higher goal. I think this is the contribution we need to understand is what is the intention of a thought? Is it something that creates positive aspects, or is it something that creates negative aspects? Is that too abstract?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
So, as a communication specialist, what do you say to the person who is creating artificial intelligence machine? You know what exactly works in between human beings in order to make things done. So, what do you say? What are the key points that need to be put in between human and a computer, a machine? Uh, your inputs are very important.
Mm-hmm. So every person is unique, and that's the beauty in life. There is no generalization, like no one treat for everyone. And I think in communication, this is the master situation, to be able to understand a situation as it is instead of to generalize. And what I would say to developers, understand yourself, learn to look within, learn from yourself, be able to be in the present moment. All this is the communication. I help people to understand themselves. And when we do that, I think we can create great algorithms, because this is where the real truth lies.
So human have ability to adapt to any situation, condition, climate, and
Yeah.
it can be any environment. It can be uncontrollable situation, and can change the uncontrollable situation to controllable. So
Yeah.
is that possible for a
But,
machine
but,
to understand?
but
Yeah, yeah.
can I add on this? I think it is correct what you're saying. We are able to adopt to anything we can think of, probably. But I think that the steps into that change needs to be very within the boundaries, within the limits. So, for example, me as a European, I have a hard time eating spicy food. So I need to grow into my ability and capacities to accept the spice, the heat. You know what I mean? So those small steps are important. And everybody has different steps. Some people can take bigger steps than others. And this is, especially as a communication trainer, the most important thing, to understand the individual.
So you mentioned 2 points here: limitations and change. So while creating a machine, how can a person who is programming a machine, should put these limitations to the lifeless species, and the limitations, and how much capacity out of 100, how much capacity should he give to the machine? I'm sorry for the sound.
Oh, no worries, no worries. I think it's life, I like it. um, I don't think that I can answer this question yet, because I don't code, so I don't have a technical answer. Um, but I think it's about the data, to collect more and more data. And then find methods to cluster, potentially to cluster information, and maybe start with I mean, I have no idea if this is even a good thing to separate positive and negative, because positive and negative is so diverse. So what's positive for me is very negative for someone else. You know, for example, money has always been positive for me. I've always liked money. And I know a lot of people who don't like money because they have made really bad experiences with it. So it is, from a technology perspective, I have no idea how to put that into code or into an algorithm. This is something you probably should answer. So I'm curious to hear what you think. How can we do that?
Can you elaborate the question?
Yeah, like what do you think? How can you build an algorithm that creates a positive outcome, and to make
Yeah,
sure that the positive outcome for everybody?
yeah, that is a general question. That is generalizing. Like, as a communication specialist, you interact with a lot of people who reacts in different ways, who gives answers in different ways, who explains things in different ways, who uses their hands, eyes, lips. They show their expressions in conveying their information in different ways. They act in different ways.
Yes.
So we have to, you asking me a question, that how can I create an algorithm which connects with everybody? That is something that you have to say as a communication specialist, because your inputs actually helps a programmer to create an algorithm or a software with which they can connect and communicate, and can able to uh, uh, it can be used by most of the people on this planet, because that is what Microsoft, Facebook, all the top companies in the world are trying to understand the communication system.
Okay, so then let's do something specific, because I think what I struggle with is answering those broad questions. If you have like a really specific question, then I can add on all the detailed question I have and I need to know in order to answer the big question.
Okay.
So it needs to be very, the more niche we get, I think the more we can find the great answer to this. I'm absolutely happy to brainstorm and to get into this, because this is what drives me.
Okay. So last time in our interview, you said me that you observe very small things, and you get excited talking with different people and trying. You get excited while understanding the communication, right? So
Yes,
this is what actually the main thing in the internet and in the world, in the relationships in between countries, in between people. So this
yeah,
communicate based on this communication system, the information exchange happens between things. It can be
yeah.
living or non-living things like computers. So what human has that what machine don't have, and what need to have in order to make the interaction between computers better, because ultimately the machines are for human beings, not for themselves.
Maybe it is that you need to have a certain goal. Like, for example, when I observe, I look for a specific thing. I want to see something. I look closer. I don't really hear the words people say. Sometimes I really don't. It's just noise. And I figure out what their intention is. What's their deeper course. And for example, right now I'm in Italy. I'm in Sicily on this super tiny island, and very little people, or I mean, a lot of people speak a little bit English, but not in like for a deeper conversation. So it's me being involved in group conversations, not understanding a single word because it's in Italian, but I understand who connects, who agrees, who disagrees. And this is because everyone has different goals and tries to push them through. And this is, you want your thing to be right, and the other person wants their thing to be right, and it doesn't matter what they say or what the context is. It is a battle. And I think when we can teach algorithms to solve that it's not me or the other, that it's, you know, so with humans it's like they're so short, centered. They don't look outside of their world. But when we teach machines that when a new information comes with, oh, this is great, give me the new information, I can collaborate or can engage it with all the others and match it and come up with a, this is what I interpret as machine learning, kind of. So, and this is from a communication perspective. Does it, I mean, does it, is that?
Yeah, I got your example. I understood your example. So what is intelligence in communication?
Intelligence and communication. Well, I would say it goes with emotional intelligence, because without the emotional intelligence, your communication cannot be as advanced as it could be, because the emotion or the awareness of the moment comes with emotional awareness of your own emotions, of the emotions of others. And this is a form of communication that algorithm, I think, at the moment are not put in consideration, I think. I mean, I don't know. It's just, they just don't
No,
understand how I feel.
yeah,
I think
but
that's
you understand the intelligence while communicating with people, right? So as a specialist, uh, you know how people are using their intelligence in order to make their information, in order to convey their information, right? So you observe this, you observe the intelligence. So these
that's the
different,
thing. Like, do you know
yeah,
Dr. Joe Dispenza? He is
no,
I don't know. He's pretty famous in the work with how the mind can how you can manifest, and how the mind energy can yeah, bring, I don't even know how your mind communicates with everything, with the whole universe, with your body, with other people. Everything is connected by those waves you send out as an energy. It is, I think it's very, very interesting. And this is, you say, I understand, but I think in communication there's more than just what you see here with your five senses. I think there's a little bit more to it that's not been very explored scientifically yet. And I think it's super interesting, because, to be honest, I think I feel it. So maybe all information get collected in my brain, and then it comes together through a feeling, and I pay attention to that feeling, and I respond to everything through that feeling.
question you was telling about a doctor who said about the understanding about the communication uh, with the environment, and also you mentioned about the senses. So my question is it possible, sensors are the information collectors. It
Yeah.
collects the information and sends to the brain, and the brain analyzes, calculates, and takes a decision. The brain is a decision maker, right?
It's a machine.
Right, it is a machine. So is it possible, you as a communication trainer specialist, you see people communicating with you, you observe people communicating with different things, right? So preparing for the unexpected every time, is it possible adapting to the unexpected things?
Oof. Yeah, I think personally it is possible. Like, why not? Nobody has proven me that it's not. So why shouldn't it be possible to be fully aware of the whole in every second? I mean, it it's just not it's just not doable in the or with the lifestyle we have right now. Like, our lifestyle, there's so much distraction, so much that's out there that keeps us, yeah, away from being centered. And I mean, I think it is cleaning up our life that will help us, sorting out our problems, looking at our dark sides, seeing everything that we don't want to see, admitting things, forgiving ourselves. loving ourselves, being able to love others. I mean, there are so many things we need to do before we are able to have this yoginess in our life. Or this guru lifestyle, I don't know. And many people don't even want it, so why should they work for it? Why should they keep trying to do something they don't even think it's necessary? We all have different goals in life.
Can you mention the sensible things, the sensitivity in communication?
Yeah, absolutely. So the sensitivity in communication is, yeah, it's like a physical touch can be gentle and it can be hard, it can be a spank, it can be violent, but it can also be curing. And this is the same with communication with words, for example. I mean, everything is communication if you want to put it that way. Physical communication can be soft and hard, and verbal communication can be soft and hard. And I think a lot of people don't understand their own communication style. They don't hear how they speak. They don't see how what they say reacts with other people. They just want to share information. They just want to output and don't really see what the consequences of the output is. And this is what an algorithm needs to consider.
That's an amazing point that you said. I saw a video in YouTube. To a couple goes to an island where that island people have no communication with the social world that we have. I don't know what that island is, but they don't know how we express things, how we make things, how we created this social world, how we created this democracy, and how we are doing a lot of things in this society. So they have their own communication system. They have their own way of expressing themselves. They are conveying their information in that are not matching with what we are doing. I saw that. And these people from this place, our place, went to that place and trying to establish communication and trying to connect with them by showing the food that they have, showing the matchbox, matchsticks, showing the useful things that we are using in our regular life. So they are trying to uh, connect with them. They are trying to say that we all are together. We all are human beings. We all are here to live. We are not enemies. They got shocked by seeing these people because they are so white, and those people were completely black and wearing some kind of things on their faces, and their dress is weird. And for us,
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
them,
That's different.
they are completely different. So these couple have succeeded, and these people gave to their own government saying that we are going to communicate and connect, and we are going to establish connection between us and them. So they did that, and they took the risk. Before that, the island people attacked a lot of our social people, but they did that. They took the risk. So like this, there will be a lot of things which happens with AI in future. We may or may not. There is a level that Elon Musk, the richest person on this planet, and the deep observer, thinker, and thinks about humanity. He mentioned one point: artificial intelligence is more dangerous than nukes. He said it is going to be we are going to create a machine which is going to reach a level called singularity. So that level is something that a ant, a small ant, cannot fight with a human being. So the human being becomes a robo artificial machine, and ant becomes a human being. So that is what happens if we are going to create, if we are working on artificial intelligence machine, and if you are going to continue working on creating this. So this is what he said, and let me complete. And Amazon CEO, I mean Amazon head said, Jeff Bezos said that, not Jeff Bezos, I think Google head, I think Sundar Pichai or somebody said, the top person said that why you're trying to stop growing the technology, why you're not allowing us to work on AI. I think you should stop talking about this. You are trying to pull us back again. We are advancing, we are growing, we are creating something great for the human being. So because of this, uh, uh, he is against to AI. Elon Musk is against to AI. He started a company called Neuralink. Neuralink is a company where a small chips are made, and in that there is a lot of the internet is there in that. There is data, how human beings should react, how humans should work, all those things. I don't remember the amount of data that is stored in that chip and which is going to put in the human brain and which is under control of human being. And that is what the motto of that company, Neuralink. So he's and also Alibaba, I hope you know about Alibaba. He's also uh,
The
uh,
Amazon of
yeah,
AI.
he and Elon Musk was discussing and he mentioned the same. And Alibaba said that I don't I support AI. I support AI and humans should work on AI. Alibaba said that. Alibaba head said that, and Elon Musk said, "I don't think artificial intelligence machines are a good idea." So these two people are top and rich people and great thinkers on this planet. So what do you say about this? Agree,
I think
disagree?
they're absolutely both right. I mean, look at any invention, dynamite. I mean, so you can kill people and you can cure people with the same atoms. So it depends on what we make out of it, and this is where communication into place, and maybe also education, that and transparency, that we say, okay, what's the intention, and maybe we can train algorithms to deepen out the intentions. So when something gets created, that the intention will be showed transparently, and then people can maybe vote, or that there is other algorithm they protect, that there are always instances, I don't know if that's the right word, um, that make sure no one gets hurt. When we have a protective system of AI, that no one gets hurt, and then we have to define what does hurt means, when are feelings hurt, when are physical situations happening that people get hurt, or that our planet gets hurt with the footprint we are leaving on this planet. I mean, all this stuff needs to be in consideration, and no human brain can comprehend this. This is why AI is a good thing. But I also see that there's a lot of control. But this is what the brain is for. The brain is a control system, like in our body. This is the control system. But maybe we don't need to be controlled by the control system. There's the Heart Math Institute in California, which they say it's like a heart energy that's even way more intelligent than this what we have here. So if we just retrain, come back with emotional intelligence, retrain new organs to be the center, like why can't we be heart centered? Human beings are heart centered, using AI for doing all the machinery. This is my opinion about the two examples.
You as Sina, me as Sai, we have some emotions, we have feelings about things, right? So is that possible for us as a creators, as a machine creators, as a artificial intelligence machine creators, or the contributors for that invention? So is that possible for us to put the emotions that you and me have in the machine which have no life and which is
Yeah,
not created by the nature?
the machine just needs to learn what it means. I mean, we just need to look at science, how the human body reacts, and put it into an algorithm. Like how our happiness hormones are created, and maybe we find the algorithm there. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. It's just brainstorming, thinking out loud. I've never shared this thought. It's a new thought.
So that is what I'm talking about, something which is internal. You already know the external, the outside, how to communicate with the human beings. I'm talking about the communication that happens in the body.
Oh yeah, okay. So what
So
about it?
yeah, in order to create a machine which communicates with the outside world, it is important for a creator to understand the internal thing. So we doctors, we the people who understands about the internal parts of the body
Yeah,
need to give the inputs to the creators, uh,
yeah,
to those creators who are creating the machine,
yeah.
in
I
order
would say,
to in order to create the emotion, in order to understand, in order to make the machine to understand the emotion and the feeling that you and me have.
yeah, 100%. And I would say we need to talk to physicists about this, to biochemical people, biochemists, um, sociologists, psychologists, yeah, and probably also some like spiritual, like the Dalai Lama.
So that is what is it dangerous to have a artificial intelligence thing?
No, I would like that because then I don't have to think anymore. Then I can just go with the flow and let all the decisions be made by a machine. I just, ideally I could have like, um, yeah, Marvel, like Iron Man and his machines, Jarvis, like to have this kind of machine running. That I think that's pretty cool. Like Jarvis is a good AI system. And have you watched the Age of Ultron?
No.
Oh, you should watch it. I sent you the link. The Marvel universe is there you learn a lot about AI, I think. There's a lot of information playfully put.
So coming to the communication, I already asked you about this. You are you able to understand the communication between other species other than human beings?
Yeah, I mean, I do observe animals a lot. Like I do like that. I'm not so much aware of wildlife animals. That's another step. That's why I want to go to Africa for to learn that. But I do see how animals communicate, and even without words it's so clear. They know so much.
So you are a communication specialist. So you mentioned something in the before that is that possible for a human being to be a universal connector as a communicator?
Yeah, I think personally I'm not yet, and I have never met personally someone who is, but I firmly believe yes, because I mean there are gurus, there are people who say they are, and but that's the thing, like a lot of people like say a lot of things. I like to experience it myself.
So what is working for them in order to connect, establish connection with every species? I mean, every human being on this planet.
Well, I guess that's a question we should ask them. For me, what I observe is that they create a moment without space and time and are connected with a higher source, but that's what they say. I mean, I'm not there yet. I'm curious though. That must be amazing. Oh my gosh, it must feel so wonderful. I have a friend, she says she sometimes she meditates for an hour and then she can really like she gets goosebumps and she feels so connected and re-energized. I'm like, wow, this sounds fantastic. Like, okay, so there is so much out there.
So tell me about consciousness and communication.
Well, I think the more conscious you are, the more aware is your communication, the more you are able to choose every single word wisely and meaningfully. And you become to understand that synonyms are not actually working in communication because every word has a specific meaning. And the more synonyms, like meaning this have words with a similar meaning. Anyway, so I think the more conscious we are, the more high level our communication gets.
So you observe as a communicator, you observe people from different countries falling in love with other country people, right? So is it
Yeah.
possible for a machine to fall in love with other species on the planet or other
For a
planets if they
machine.
are aliens?
Um, yeah, I think, I mean, if you create scenarios that you say, okay, these and these information needs to be triggered, like um, nice positive words, a smile on the face, maybe a hug, maybe gifts, maybe doing something to serve someone, like there's a list of trigger points, and when so and so many hit, then it's it's a tendency to fall in love. And this is also important, that the algorithm needs to understand the individual, because every individual loves differently, and the algorithm needs to be able to observe this through behavior, I guess, and then put it into a category. And maybe the algorithm can be a coach to teach people to become higher enlightened with their communication.
So
like
I
the
have,
personal coach.
yeah, it is like a coach you are saying. So I have another question. So, what are the levels of intelligence that you observed in communicating with people, or while communicating, or have you observed your own intelligence level?
That's a good question. No, I've never put it into communication levels, but you know what? I will do that and share it with you once it's done. I love it. That's a great idea. Thank you.
So, because the reactions, the expressions when you are communicating, when you are conveying some information, or when you are trying to explain about something that you have in your mind. So, different people react in different timings. Some people may react immediately. Some person takes time to react, and the reaction, the expressions will be different. They uses their hands or legs or their eyes or their lips. You observe very deeper, right? So the level of understanding you will observe there. So as a communicator, do you have any examples? Well, you give training to techies, right?
Yeah, I love this question because it it sounds maybe a little bit funny, but I am a fast thinker, and communication works pretty fast for me. And when I speak with someone who is very a perfectionist, which a lot of techies are, they want to deliver great code, and they're very detail oriented. So they like to be great, they like to be right, they like to be perfect. And this, in terms of communication, makes them consider all the options what to say. And the more options they consider, the longer it takes them to answer. But the answer is always on point. But me, as a fast thinker, I'm like, do, 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 do. I'm just waiting impatiently. And then I'm just smiling, and I'm focusing on my breath, and I'm just going, meanwhile, I'm waiting, calm myself down, and be aware of my own emotions. And then when the answer comes, I check it again with myself, like, what is this information doing with me? What's triggered? Like, I don't think what I should think. I just let it happen neutrally, and then see how my body communicates with me. And then I give the answer. This is my way of communication.
So tell me about the emotional intelligence that you observed in techies.
Oh, well, there's room for improvement. Let's put it that way.
So you observe people from tech who are communicating or who are expressing or who are presenting their project or something that they are working on, right? So you also see people who are non-technical. So what is the difference that you observe in communication?
Um, well, again, that would be a label, and that would put a lot of people in one box. They don't believe in that. They don't belong in that box. That's for sure. Um, but like when I look at the tech teams I met, there's a higher insecurity in communication, which I define as maybe a lack of communication. So when I see different departments, like in tech companies, you have accountant, you have marketing, you have sales, you have the devs. So I mean, when I compare these departments, then people in sales, they grew up with a lot of speaking, they grew up with a lot of social interaction. They just have a background communicating all the time. And the devs, I notice to see like being having had a hard time in school, being very smart, not having a potential way to be understood, not to be felt understood, then shutting down, not talking too much, just finding peer groups where they can express themselves, but then it's kind of like the same kind of person or similar kind of lifestyle. So the new input is not so strong, just compared to like outspoken departments. But this is very labeling. There's always different people in different departments. Like I said, people are unique and everybody has their own story. And a lot of unique people make an own environment, and every environment is different. So there's no stereotype here. But like if I would make a study, I would think it would come out that they were more introverts, more lonely, something like that, misunderstood, like on an emotional level.
So me as a programmers, web developers, there are people who are working on websites, mobile applications, right? So we are very much into the user interface, the main the first thing that a
I,
normal user will see, right? You know that. So
I know.
user, so users, this is very important thing. So is it possible for a programmer or a developer to create a user interface which connects with everybody on this planet?
Oh, that's a very good question. So right now, I would say no, because even myself, I have a different opinion today and I have a different opinion tomorrow, and I change. So maybe the algorithm needs to pick up the mood at the moment and then create it. It's like a mood ring. When maybe to trigger algorithm with emotion. So when I'm happy, I want to hear a certain kind of music. When I'm sad, I want to hear a different kind of music. And so this is maybe how the interface should be able to switch and adopt in order to please everyone all the time. It needs to be a chameleon.
So you are saying that user interface should be an artificial intelligence thing, and which should uh, generate the emotion that user needs or should.
It's like
What?
communication. It's like
Yeah.
communication. When I see that you smile but your eyes look sad, then I know you are kind and you are friendly and you try not to put your problems on me. But then I still know that you have a problem, and maybe I can give you the space to talk about it, or maybe we find a solution together. But this is something you don't say, but I have to be able to observe it, to be able to see it.
So that is what I'm trying to pick from this discussion. So user interface or the automatically, it should think by itself when a user is interacting with it, right?
It's the same
Machine.
with it's the same probably with social media. I mean, sometimes I would like to see some funny dog videos. Sometimes I would like to see a recipe. Sometimes I would like to follow up on like the latest trends, and sometimes I just want to see tech stuff, like new invention and what's going on in the world. And or sometimes I just want to see spiritual stuff because I need healing or whatever, like.
So as a communication observer, so you see a lot of movies, right? So you see a lot of user interfaces. It can be a movie theater screen, or it can be your computer screen, or it can be your mobile screen, right? So you are interacting with it. So you're connecting with it. Sometimes you don't connect. You change the, the wallpaper, or you will see sometimes, the Facebook or Instagram. So you change. Uh, uh, it is in your control, but artificial intelligence is not in your control. So how can you create something that attracts and that do something that you like every time?
I don't know. Do you know?
That is what, that is what Elon Musk is saying. You can't create something that you can control every time. So that is something that you are programming, you're fixing. You have to do this. If you give more intelligence to that machine, that won't have feeling. That is created by you. You are created by something in the nature. You is the energy. It is natural thing. You and me, human beings, we are natural things. We are the product of the nature, but that is the product of the human being. So
Yeah.
I personally have a lot of belief and faith on something that is created by nature, but I don't believe something something that is created by human being, because I
Hmm.
don't see guarantee. I human is creating everything by collecting the materials that is there on the planet. He didn't created something that is not created by the nature.
But have we, I mean, just it's just a question, just thinking out loud. Have we ever been really honest and transparent about what we are doing? I mean, when I look at it, all the problems are caused by not being honest, by not being authentic, by not being true. And this is what communication helps, because a lot of people don't even know. They're just acting up on, yeah, they're just reacting to certain situations, and then it's a big mess. It's a big blur in their head, and they don't know what's happening. And communication training helps to really understand what we're doing, why we're doing. This is why we call Generation Y, because we ask those questions.
Yeah, you asked a really intelligent and important and the great question. It is very important for a person who is into any field, any profession. So are we, as all we are being honest or being authentic, are we able to say exactly what we are feeling, what we are thinking, right? Because of the social, restrictions, or people
So,
likes and dislikes, right? So
so here's what I'm doing right now. I'm um, I'm experiencing or experimenting with that. So you are absolutely right. We are restricted in our social environment, and we cannot say what we truly want to say. But the funny thing is, there's also a Netflix series that's called How to Become a Tyrant. So tyrants are doing this. They are just outspoken about what they believe in, and they speak about it so loudly. And I think now it's time for positive people, for good hearted people, for people with like peace intention to speak their own truth. And the more people start doing this, I think there's a potential that more people jump on this train of interaction, train of thought. And let's see if it's possible to encourage a lot of people to be honest and authentic. even with social pressure.
So you are
Or
into, yeah, go on.
just one second. Or we find ways to communicate that we can say whatever we want without getting in trouble. And I think this is where I am at right now, that I feel I'm in a position to be able to say everything I want. And I evaluate, when do I cause harm, when I'm not. I'm like really careful, because what I do and what I say is usually kind and comes from a place of love. And a lot of people don't understand that. They interpret what I say as something mean, but this is not where I come from. This is something where they come from. And this is how I identify, okay, where is someone with negativity, like too much negativity in their system, and where is someone with a lot of positivity in their system, and where is someone with toxic positivity in their system. And this is the way of healing I can, or communication I am not identify, and can help people with to come to the center of communication. Not too negative, not too positive, just be true to yourself. And the way you are to yourself, the way you are in general, this is the perfect.
So positivity, you are the symbol for it. I understood that in our last conversation, right? So, uh, as a communication specialist, is it possible for you or for any being, any species, to be positive in communicating, while communicating, even something negative is attacking?
Mm, yeah. Well, I always like to ask, what is positive for you? And then that brings me back to the conversation, what I said earlier. Every positive thing is negative for someone else. It's there is no white or yeah, white, black or white, or right or wrong. It's more how we interpret it, and we interpret it with our brain in general by the experiences we have collected in our life. And when we don't have to use that brain so much anymore, and maybe function from the heart, then maybe we don't even interpret a lot of things as negative anymore. Maybe. That's I don't have any proof for that, but that's something I experienced, because my brain always wants to tell me he is a cheater, he is unreliable, this is not going to work. And like I have made so many negative experiences in my life, but I choose to see the positive. But then when I don't think actively, when I just leave all those internal debate aside, then there's just peace, inner peace. And I think we all, as human beings, have that inner peace. And we need to clean up our machine up there.
So you mentioned something which is very important. So you also said something which is creating uh, disturbance in a being, right? So there are people who are creating some negative energy because of insecurity or something that happened in their life, something that they are unable to do. They are trying to show their negative emotions on other people. So this is happening in between human beings, right? So we as a human beings still didn't understood what we are creating something which is completely.
Exactly. Exactly. And this is, I think now we got it. So the people who are developing it need to understand who they are. So the further the developers are developed themselves, I don't have any fear. But when I look at the people who are hating the world and have a lot of anger sit in their system, then I'm, yeah, when you're driven by anger and fear, oof, that's not nice.
So what should be their qualifications? What should be their experience in order to create something that is that don't create disturbance in the world?
Well, that's a perfect pitch for my business. So, of course, have me as a trainer come to my emotional intelligence trainings and work on it together in my gym, in my communication gym.
Yeah, I saw it. You speaking very, you being very keen observer in the last conversation. So I never felt the experience that with you, the experience that I have with you in the last conversation. I never felt that because I don't know what energy that I experienced from you. Uh, I think that's why the reason when I decided to talk about artificial intelligence, because I thought it is very important for the planet to have the positive thinkers in order to create a positive artificial intelligence machine, right? So your contribution is really important. The points that you say really adds value to the machine and also will be put into the machine, which is called as functionalities, and which will not cause any negative effect, which will
Yeah.
not destroy anything, which will not destroy the natural resources that we have.
And I think nobody wants that. Nobody wants to do that actively. I firmly believe. So thank you. Thank you for, yeah, this interesting short thought sharing experience.
So, do you have anything to say to the world who's watching and listening to our conversation about AI, about things that need to be put into the in the mind in order to create something
Yeah,
that is lifeless?
maybe I do have one thing. Make sure that you are happy. Take care of yourself. Take care of your own happiness. That's the first step.
So, what do you say about my questioning in this conversation?
What am I saying? Excuse me, I couldn't.
What do you say about my questions in this conversation?
Your questions in this conversation were cool, fun, a lot of new thoughts I could produce. And as always, it was my pleasure talking to you. You're a very smart guy.
So, thank you, Sina, for giving me your valuable time and spending your valuable thoughts and telling my audience about something that creates positive energy in them or uh, creates constructive thoughts in them. And your thoughts are very valuable for my audience and anybody who is observing you.
Okay, thank you.
So, can I put this video on my YouTube channel with your permission?
Yeah. I'm easy. Thank you for this call, and I think if you want, we can talk about this topic again. If you have a specific question, just we can make short calls on it. I'd love that.
Yeah, I'll come with questions that you won't expect.
Cool. Yes, that's exactly what I want. Make me, yeah, help me to think
Yeah,
further.
I'll make you think always.
Yay! I love thinking.
You're a very good communicator. I'm sure in coming days a lot of people will get affected because of your thought contribution and improve themselves and develop products, projects, and help their companies and the positive energy in the world.
I think we will both contribute for a positive future. We're both positive fighters.
Yeah.
Warriors. Okay, well, you have a lovely day. And thank you for your time. Thank you for setting this up. And I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, me too. So can I also put this audio and video clip on my podcast website, internet, social media, everywhere with your permission?
Yeah, do that.
Thank you,
Whatever you think,
Sina.
whatever you think is right. I trust you.
You trust me. Thank you. Thank you. That's a big word.
Okay. Yeah.
Bye.
Bellissimo.